I know that you are having tons of fun with meta-exalted wielders such as Titania and Mesa right now, but if you have time, then try out Jade, as she is really amazing right now. Don't get me wrong, the Warframe is already great when Digital Extremes released her initially during the Jade Shadows update, but she got really good after the Techrot Encore update. If I will sum it up, the Warframe is a combination of a better hildryn with the ability to strip defenses and then provide buffs to team. She can be a mini-rhino, mini-mirage, and even a mini-styanax that provides shield regeneration. Okay, let me show you first what exactly I mean. By the way, I put a timestamp on this video, so you can easily navigate to the parts you would like to watch first. So basically, her first skill is a large area that can provide healing to allies and can hurt enemies that are inside the radius. Honestly, I don't use this skill that much when using Jade, since enemies move a lot in real mission. The only way to keep them at place is that you pair it with grouping mechanics or even abilities that can halt any movement. While the healing is great, but the shield regeneration that Jade's third skill provide is better in my opinion, as your team can also take advantage of the shield gating mechanic. Normally, I use the first skill as a helmet slot, and my favorite subsume skill to use is Nourish. This is just a personal preference, but I love Nourish because of the energy multiplier benefit. With Zenurix's Wellspring, I can easily gain energy in a matter of seconds while not using her Glory skill. In addition, the energy multiplier also works while Glory is active when pick up energy orbs. This allows me to get rid of Arcane Energize in the Warframe slot and use Arcanes such as Velocity to increase the fire rate of her exalted weapon, and also the new Arcane Hotshot that provides critical hit chance to her weapons, including her exalted. Not to mention that stacking Arcane Hotshot is very efficient when using her exalted pistol, as it has innate heat. Finally, the other benefit of using Nourish is its additional viral status and damage infused to your guns. This allows me to go with corrosive in my gun to pair it with the innate heat. And with Nourish, I also can inflict additional viral. Honestly, these three elements combined in a gun works great in this game. Just a reminder though, Glory on High Exalted doesn't benefit from galvanized status mods. You may see the galvanized mod activating, but the buff doesn't add to the exalted weapon. Well, it's because of obvious reasons that Glory is an area skill in both its primary and secondary fire, and you all know that galvanized status doesn't work with AoE guns. The only downside, though, is you can't take advantage of the Jade Light mechanic that will reset the timer of your second skill if you decided to subsume a Helminth ability on her first skill. Enemies affected by Jade Light, or those icons you see floating above the enemy head, will give you infinite timer on your buffs. This is a good thing, but I decided to sacrifice this mechanic for energy maintenance and more damage buff with Nourish. Anyway, I can just simply cast the buff again if it expires, as I don't have any energy problems in my build, even with Blind Rage on my mod setup. Moving on, I would also like to talk about Arcane choices. Your Glory skill can achieve orange critical hits with the orange Tau-forged Archon shards that grants critical chance per enemies killed while they have heat status. Then you can pair this with secondary Enervate to further boost its critical hit chance. The best part is, Enervate does work on both primary and secondary fire of the gun, and you can also pair this with Arcane Hotshot. However, it would be wise to use other Arcanes if you already have a max Arcane Hotshot and full 5 Tau-forged orange Archon shards. Enervate won't be that useful, as it will just give you a small boost in critical hit, and you are better off increasing your damage, in my opinion. There are other choices, such as the normal secondary Merciless that works in endless runs also. The damage boost is handy that you can replace Hornet Strike with faction mods or any mods that you deem useful for your build. Cascadia Flare is also a viable option for more damage boost, as you can also stack the damage boost efficiently of this arcane with Jade's Glory Exalted weapon. But if there's one arcane I would highly recommend, that is the secondary Fortifier. This arcane can steal Overguard from enemies, but it also makes Eximus units very squishy and easy to kill. For my final Jade build, I choose to go with this mod setup. Pistol Amp and Growing Power gives out more damage buff to my Glory Exalted weapon, which is nice since we don't have the option to further boost it with Galvanized status setup. Then, for the Exilis mod slot, I prefer to use Preparation mod, so I have full energy in almost every mission in the game. This is really handy, especially for Exalted users which drain energy when using their Exalted weapons. Then, the build would be so much better if I have Precision Intensify that boost my ultimate skill. However, I chose to go with the Umbral Intensify paired with Blind Rage and Transient Fortitude to buff not only my ultimate, but also the buffs coming from both Nourish and the Symphony of Mercy skill, and the defense stripping from the Ophanim eyes. Like I have said, Nourish is really handy not just for its viral status and damage, but mostly because of the energy multiplier it provides, allowing us to equip Arcane Hotshot and pair it with Arcane Velocity to boost our Exalted weapon's damage. Speaking of damage, Jade can also boost her damage, and as well as her allies. There are two buffs that can do this, and it's called the Deathbringer and the Power of the Seven within her second ability. The best part about Symphony of Mercy is you can bestow these buffs within affinity range, and you don't need to optimize your builds for range mods also. But in my case, I did add Stretch because I'm also using Ophanim eyes to reduce the defenses of enemies. The ability is better with range as you can be on the air within a safe distance while reducing the defenses of enemies. Getting back to the Symphony of Mercy, Deathbringer buff will increase your weapon damage and it's additive to mods like Serration. On the other hand, Power of the Seven will give your ability strength buff. Take note that each cycling of the buff aura by tapping the ability key counts as a fresh ability cast. This allows Jade to take advantage of external ability strength buffs after casting without needing to spend any more energy. This does also mean, however, that the strength buff can be lost if the buff aura is cycled after the strength buff expires. You can take advantage of this by casting the power strength first to boost your abilities, before casting Deathbringer to get more damage buff than usual. And finally, I would like to talk about Ophanim eyes and how its defense stripping actually works. I ended up with tons of power strength to lower the time in stripping all the armor and shields of enemies. With 30% defense reduction, it would take 3.5 seconds to fully strip all armor and shield of enemies. With range also, you can strip defenses in a safe distance while on the air. Just be reminded that the 90% slow effect doesn't work in all enemies in the game. It obviously doesn't work with overguard units, and you will have to remove their extra layer of health first. It doesn't work also against those Legasite units, and they will keep on running even if you are gazing on them. It does work with acolytes and the defense stripping as well. Also, I know that some players will say that it would be useless to go with corrosive and magnetic because I'm already stripping the armor and shield of enemies with Ophanim eyes. But in real mission though, you'll only take advantage of the 1 or 2 second defense stripping of the skill. In most cases, enemies will die with Jade's exalted weapon before you can strip all their defenses. Honestly, this Warframe is an absolute unit as she got decent damage on her exalted, good mobility, and can provide helpful buffs to the team. In the recent Warframe survey, Jade usage only got less than 1%, but I think because the Warframe is new and was released in 2024. I just hope that after this video though, players will see how amazing the Warframe is with the right build. So that's all about it. I hope that I have provided all the needed information so you'll have fun playing Jade. Before leaving, I humbly ask for your support by simply liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.